If these were territories, where should the alphas be?
In their territory.
Well, at the end of the territory. So there's a wolf pack meeting here and one here. Where are the alphas?
In front of the neutral
Front of
line.
the pack. Good. Where should the submissives be?
Behind the alpha.
You notice the spelling that's on the board right now?
Notice what?
What is the spelling?
No. Yes.
Good. I'm about to tell you how many times during the day that you will look like this to your dog. Well, yeah, possibly speaking. All right, let's look at it. This is neutral turf. Can you tell me what the object of wolves are when they meet at a territorial line? What is their deal?
Friendly or foe?
Well, they're always foe. There's one object, to take over turf.
Oh.
And that's it. Your dog is no different. Your dog will bowl his way into another dog, unless he's soft-tempered, scared, to take over territory. Jumping up on your guest is about taking over territory that he governs. He doesn't want your guest to take him over. What kind of dog is it?
Golden mix.
Okay, you're lucky,
And a
because if
golden.
that was a German Shepherd, you could be guaranteed there'd be a different end result. What do you think it might be? Well, look, I stepped into
Getting
Randy's
bit.
dog's face. What happened,
Getting
Randy? He barked at me, or snarked, or tried to snap me and tell me that's enough. It's still the same thing, just a different reaction. It's the mentality. All right, let's look. This alpha is looking to see if his group of wolves here is organized. They stand still when he moves. If he moves this way, they move that way. He moves this way, they move that way. I could show you DVDs, and part of my class is showing you this on TV, in the wild, and you will see the same progression. Okay? When that happens, he's watching. What's he watching for? If any one of these is not in line with him, why?
So because he can take
Good.
over.
He knows he'll be weak. Okay? Which in turn, these guys move in and they got a bigger hunting ground. And they will kill him and everybody in there if we're given the window. Your dog thinks the same way. A dog that's nervous, edgy, neurotic, or pulling is a target for a dog that's strong. And what's worse yet, the owner that holds that strong dog is not as strong as he is. This is why we get these fights down the road. This is why we get dogs that are not controlled that get away from owners and fight people. All they're doing is trying to take over turf. Because in their mind, they are in control. But on two notes. One, who's standing next to them does not have any control, but the other thing that they're coming up against, when they see and they watch, they see that that person doesn't have any control. Not of themselves and not of everything around them. You will watch moms do this. When a bad dog, and you'll do this instinctually, when a bad dog comes into the park, what's the first thing that mother does?
Children.
To stay right beside her. What kind of a language would we display?
Fear. I'm nervous about that.
No, we're looking at grouping our pack together so mom can take care of it. Now, what if mom was chasing those kids around the park trying to organize them and this kid saw this? The dog saw it. Now what would the dog think?
Go ahead and take out mom. The weak alpha.
Not mom.
Oh, one at a time.
The others.
The babies, the kids. Because they're really the prey. And when they've done that with the kids and mom tries to step in, that's when the dog will take out mom. I'm sure you've read stories about this. Mom gets mauled by pit bull trying to save kids. Has anybody read those stories? I've read them all the time. People will send me emails of this. Sam, what do you think of this, this, and that? Forget it, I don't even want to comment. So it's the same thing here. So when you're walking your dog, what you will see is that people's dogs do not react to mine. But they will react to the next dog, and I'll show you this in a minute, okay? Here's how it works. Let's take it now into the world of humans. And I'm going to kind of do a slow transference to kind of give you the picture. This alpha says to this submissive here, this is my brother's wolf pack, I want you to go over here and then meet him here because we're buddies. Now who's ahead of the game? Look at where the lines are drawn.
The submissive ones are
The
ahead.
submissives are forward. In the world of wolves, that never happens. So what do these two look like if that happens?
Weak.
Weak, good. Now, let's take it one step and keep this submissive back, and he just lets this submissive go forward. What happens to that submissive?
Kills.
He's dead. Alpha is weak. And alpha is only as strong as the discipline of his pack. Without his pack, he's nobody. Understand? So Randy, you can be the best man in the whole world with your dog and treat it well. But in the eyes of a dog looking for a fight or looking to bite you or anything else, if you don't have control over your dog, you guys are both nobody. And his job is to take you over. Okay? How many people have walked down the park and your dog's been attacked? Nobody here. Really?
In my yard.
Oh, good. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, let's look. So this guy gets attacked and he's taken out. Right? So, we'll go into hypothetical situations further. This one says, okay, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to go over there and tell them that we're coming over as guests and we're going to share a meal. So these two submissives go over there. They're coming over as guests to share a meal, so here's your meal. The submissives come in, but they push the submissives out. The alpha makes the submissives behave because they're guests. What did this alpha do in the eyes of this wolf pack? Huh? She allowed another pack to come in and take food.
And retreat.
The owner that allows the strange dog to come in and eat out of your dog's bowl, or drink out of your dog's bowl, or sharing a toy. Finally, now we got two more submissives gone. What goes on now? So we got a dead submissive, another dead submissive, and now a dead alpha. What do you become? Look at the top of the board. Every time you allow an invasion of space to your dog, every time you do not control territorial boundaries, every time you do not understand the formation you must have with your animal, whether there's guests coming in or not, you lose a notch in your status. And what you will find is as each notch in your status is removed, your dog's bad behavior increases, but your frustration goes with it. Now you're completely two lost souls floating around in space trying to find some ground. It does not work. Let's look at how people do it wrongly. All right, my driveway, Lauren's driveway. Why I use Lauren is because Jackson and these girls are buddies. They've known each other for a couple of years. We have a mailbox, we have a street, and we have a house, right? The average suburban neighborhood, right? Sam gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning, walks out with his two dogs. Lauren or Steve walks out with Jackson. We're picking up the mail. Of course, we're friends, so we're talking and everything else. Etra and Trinket go forward, and Jackson goes forward. Where are we standing?
On the territorial line.
We're standing at the end of the driveway while they're in the neutral zone. Do you understand that once an alpha enters a neutral zone, it's a fight? Mentally speaking, you're programming something for your dog. Okay. Dogs meet, owners stand back. How many of us have done this? How many of us stood there talking to each other while our dogs are rubbing noses 3 feet in front of us? And just let it happen? Now we're in this right mind. Would you ever let a kid go up to a complete stranger and talk to him while you're standing there? What are you teaching your dog? To stand in front, stand alone, and if something goes wrong, don't listen. Okay, that's one. Okay, let's take another one. The door of the house. Here's the door. Sam comes over for a knock. There's a dog that barks at the door. This is normal. The owner is standing here. Fine. Owner pulls the dog back. The dog is choking and trying to breathe, stretching his neck forward, and the person keeps coming in. As this progresses, we get tighter and more angrier. In the eyes of your dog, what are you trying to show it? That you are in some form of control, or is it that you would be desperately trying to control and the stimuli that's walking in is upsetting you? What kind of a trigger would you be causing? Cure. Dog barks at the door, good. Dog stays here, down, stay. Person walks in, you deal with the person. Walk in, dog is not to touch. Out of my space, the dominant dog. Person comes in and sits down. I'm getting into a problem solving. So you understand the causes. Okay, let's get another one going. Steps to a house. Right? Dog makes it to the top, looking down on who? How many times a day does that happen? Can anybody tell me?
Depends on how many
Every time
steps
you
from your
leave.
house, a lot.
All right. Will somebody walk up to me, please? Come on up. Jake, how do you feel, Pat? Don't you notice how excited dogs get when you're standing at the top of the stairs? Why do you think they're excited? Because they love you? Are they going, you damn fool, I got another notch up on you?
Dominating, yeah.
Right. How about driving the car? Another way to lose your territorial turf. This is your box. You're sitting here in the driver's seat. Your dog's in the back seat. Leaning into putting his paws on your head while you're trying to steer and drive. Oh, wait, what are you laughing, Doug?
It happens.
That happens.
Whose space is this?
That's my space.
Really?
Well,
I don't think so.
kind of sharing it now, I guess.
He's not sharing it. Why don't you pull over and let him drive? Okay?